Welcome, one and all, to Ringfluenced. I am Shawn, your host of this podcast, this little adventure that I call, where we're going to be looking at the ins and outs of indie wrestlers, understanding who they are influenced by, why they're influenced by them, inside and outside of the ring. You can expect a lot of fun interviews, either on the video or audio format. A lot of interaction with various different people outside of independent wrestling, not only wrestlers but announcers, people of influence inside the indie wrestling scene, making a difference every day and every night. Once again, I am Shawn Taggart. I'm happy to start this little adventure. I'm excited to get into this and start this with a bang. We're going to be talking this week about indie wrestling. A lot of things have happened, a lot of things to look forward to. One of the things that I do want to start out with is sending my condolences to the Pugh family. Those who know Mark and Jay Briscoe. Jay Briscoe passed yesterday around 5:30 p.m. in the evening in a car accident. A very devastating. More news is coming out. I'm not going to breach and touch that news. It's really, a devastating, sad thing that happened in the wrestling community. We all know it. The outpouring of support, prayers, memories, all that stuff that's been coming out, not only by wrestlers that have seen or wrestled them a few times, fans, ex Ring of Honor stars that are now in greener pastures, all that stuff. The outpouring of support and love for Jay Briscoe is something that I think only matches the love and support we saw a few years ago with Brody Lee when he passed. It's a hard thing for me. Growing up a Ring of Honor fan, growing up an indie wrestling fan, you saw the Briscoes on the East Coast making an impact, making a name, trying to do things, get things a little bit more of a, they made tag team wrestling is really all I'm going to say. Having lost for words. It's been a, struggle, coming up with thoughts and what to say about them, but they're the greatest tag team, not only of Ring of Honor, but of all time. There's no question in my mind. No one comes close to matching the energy, the excitement, the realness that the Briscoe brothers brought inside and outside the ring, especially when you're looking at what Mark and Jay specifically, his promos felt so real, felt so hard, felt so tough. You believed him every time he opened his mouth, and you heard him say he was a family man, as we found out, and we've known this from the week-to-week episodes where he would be practicing his daughter's cheer routines with her. We knew how much family meant to Jay Briscoe. We knew how much teaming with his brother meant to Jay Briscoe. There was, you could say that there was wrestling for Jay, and then there was also family and the outside stuff. It was, it was sad to see them never get the recognition on a national level. But you have to respect, they put in the effort. I'm going to be sharing in the show notes 5 recommended matches of his indie time on the indies, either single matches really against his brother Mark that stand out. I'm going to give you one from the best clip from the Best of the Best one quarterfinal from May 19th, 2001, as well as their no DQ match in HCW from June 26, 2005. And then we're going to get a little bit more recent in their indie run versus SGC at GCW's The Old Me from April 24th of last year, versus main event at House of Glory's Holy Grail from May 27th of last year, and then finally against Aussie Open, again at House of Glory, but the show Exodus on October 29th of 2022. So all those clips and then maybe a few full matches will be in there. Show notes for the CZW stuff you can find on IWTV, CZW Studios, HIghspots Now, Highspots Wrestling Network, and then for the HCW one's the full match right on there on YouTube. The SGC main event Aussie Open matches you can all find on Fite Plus. So you can check those out if you have the Fite Plus subscription. All of them are coming free with your subscription So feel free to take a look at them, watch them, enjoy them, and really just, remember how hard-hitting a man Jay Briscoe was, but also remember how just impactful and powerful he was in the promos he delivered. Not only his time in Ring of Honor giving those promos, Terry Funk never wore a mouthpiece, but the stuff that he did to hype up the FTR matches, the stuff that he did to hype up the matches against Main Event Aussie Open, like those matches, SGC, looking at those, his voice carried a lot of weight in the indie wrestling scene, and made those matches feel important just by you believing what he said. It's a sad moment for wrestling fans all over the world. It's a sad moment for Mark and the Pugh family in particular. So I just wanted to pay my respects, give a little thoughts, and talk about Jay Briscoe, the independent wrestler. Rest in peace, Jay. You were going to be 39 in a week. We will miss you. Yeah. So now we move forward and we talk about the show that I actually attended this past Sunday at the Mecca, the Phil Sheridan Building, Knights of Columbus in Ridgefield Park. We're talking about Garden State Pro Wrestling Duality. This show happened on January 15th, a Sunday, and the results are courtesy of pwponderings.com. Visit them for all your independent wrestling needs, news, results, show updates, all that stuff. You can find it all there. One of the things that I like about them is the quick and easy results, nothing fully detailed, just give me the quick results just to see what happened on the show. And then, I've enjoyed the show from beginning to end. I really think that, Garden State Pro has something special. They have something really exciting to share and showcase to the independent wrestling scene, especially in the state of New Jersey, which is showered by many different promotions. You have CZW, GCW, Garden State Pro. You have ICW No Holds Barred, which makes their home there. You have Pro Wrestling Magic, Invictus Pro. You have all these different promotions, National Federation of Wrestling. You have everyone coming in there, NFW for sure. You have H2O. You have so many promotions here that, make their stake, their claim in New Jersey. And Garden State Pro does a nice job of really standing out. Production-wise, you still had GoPro Wrestling actually doing the physical recording of the show. They streamed it on their Twitch channel, but it was also streamed live on the Garden State Pro YouTube channel. Just running down the results real quick, we did have a pre-show match between Pat Fitzpatrick and Jay Macias. Jay Macias won that match. It was a really good way to open the crowd, get the crowd going, getting ready for this big show that we have going on, getting them hot, getting them excited, getting them ready to really showcase and get themselves, ready for the show. It was a good opener. It was a good way to showcase some local talent here. I think they did a really good job here. And then the lights, the camera, the action went on. We were live on YouTube and Twitch. And Culture Inc. defeated the Ace of Space Academy. Culture Inc. featuring Eli Knight and Malik Bledsoe defeated Leon St. Giovanni and his brother Max St. Giovanni. It was a fun match. It was a good way to open the show. The crowd was really into it. They got into it near the end of the match where we had Culture Inc. Kia Dream, and we had her get involved in the match, get herself ready to the match, and then we had the big epic face-to-face between Prolific and Culture Inc., which then tied into Ruthless Lala and Kia Dream going on one-on-one, and Lala picked up the win. Lala is fantastic. She is a powerhouse female wrestler who does things great. She has a good moveset to, she's a powerhouse. She wrestles like a powerhouse. It was very good to see, and throwing Kia around a little bit, making her, look a little bit like she was. It was a great match, and it really sets up the tension between Culture Inc. and Prolific that I hope we see escalate and we see a big match down the line. From there, we went to Kevin Blackwood and Bobby Orlando. It was a great storytelling match involving Bobby Jr. We had Kevin Blackwood wanting to take home Bobby Jr. to give it a good home, safe home for Bobby Jr. In the end of the match, it was a nice submission hold by Kevin Blackwood that picked up the victory for him. We did have our first of two second round matches. Young Dumb and Broke, the team of Charlie Tiger and Ellis Taylor, defeated the team of American Violence Deers, Akira and Macha Slamovich. Really fun tag team match. It really, showcases how good the tag division in Garden State Pro is. I think it's one of the better tag divisions in all of the indie scene right now. It really showcases a vast variety of different talent across not only the tri-state area but worldwide. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Just a really good fast action match here with Young Dumb and Broke moving on in the tournament. On our match before our intermission here, we did get the Garden State Pro Openweight Championship match between the prize Alec Price against the Designs Alan Angels. It was a very good match. I mean, I really liked the elevation of Alec Price, the co-IWTV Wrestler of the Year, along with Speedball Mike Bailey. Really love the transformation that Price has taken into the second level, the second gear, getting booked everywhere, becoming a part of the GCW national roster, not just doing local shows, coming in and really taking over the East Coast independent scene by storm. I really feel like he could be up there with being one of the aces of the East Coast scene, maybe even taking that top spot from Jordan Oliver. It's a little close, though. I wouldn't say that would happen yet. I really want to see them have a touch for the first time. It would be a really good, exciting match. I really am excited for the future of Alec Price. I think 2023 he's going to take this year by storm. I'm really looking forward to seeing where his next level is. I mean, he's reached it last year, but can he take that level even higher? Is what I want to see from him. I think he can. Just really exciting to watch, really believable as a overall strong-minded, willed individual. Really wants to take over the East Coast indie scene, really wants to take over the independents in general. I think he's a guy that we'll talk a little bit more about him later on in this episode, but just a guy that I love seeing every time he wrestles. We come back from intermission and we see Brian Keith and Manders have probably the two big men slap and meat match of the night. No one really comes closer to this. This was a fine hoss battle between two big boys that, both are a little bit underrated, I think. Both underappreciated. I think it's good seeing Brian Keith out here in the East Coast. I think he should be showcased more. He did get that big spot in Battle of Los Angeles after Leo Rush had to step aside due to injury. Had a really good showing there. But I think, Brian Keith has all the tools to be a household name this year in 2023. Manders as well. Manders, I think, is the most underutilized talent that we've seen in the independents. I think, his run as H2O Tag Champ and H2O World Champion really showcases just the style and the presentation and also the ability to be a top wrestler in the East Coast for any promotion and also for the indies in any promotion. I want to see more of that. I'm excited to see more of that. I want to see all Manders everywhere. Manders is, a great guy inside and outside the ring. Just really fun. Just really enjoys doing this. And that's one of the biggest things about that. You got a guy here. Both guys actually really enjoy doing this professional wrestling thing. And it shows just by how well they are with one another. And they just gel together. Nice, stiff, hard-hitting match. Really go out of your way, check it out when it drops. I loved it. I loved watching it. I love seeing it. Then we do have Edith Surreal defeating Jordan Blade. A nice technical submission-heavy match here. I really love how Edith has really honed in on her craft on the technical wrestling side and has really driven the point home that she is a strong professional wrestler. Jordan Blade is a very good professional technical wrestler as well. They mesh well. This isn't the first time that they've wrestled with one another, but it's good to see Edith continue to climb here and continue to become a technical wrestler that people want to see wrestle, that people enjoy to see wrestle. I enjoy seeing Edith wrestle every time I get the chance to watch her, either on a streaming service or live in person. But every time she's out there, she gets better. She showcases what she's learned the last time, improves upon it, and goes above and beyond. You know, she's special. She can be one that I would say to watch for this year, as I think she's ready to take the whole independent scene by storm and really focus in on a lot of other things here that makes a good wrestler great. I think she's at that cusp of that. Jordan Blade's at the cusp of that too. Jordan Blade has her tag team with Eel O'Neill, and also she's on the cusp of just doing big things as a singles wrestler as well. You can't deny that. She is a very good wrestler. This was a good showcase of the technical side of it. You gave a little bit of everything, Garden State, and I enjoyed that. I really appreciated them taking that time and giving us a very different show. Very vast, very different in the styles that we saw. We saw a very good four-way between Marcus Mathers, Jordan Oliver, Hunter Drake, and Alley Catch. One of my matches of the night here. Just, you have all the struggles of putting together a very good Fatal 4. You have the struggles of, making sure that the match is laid out right. You don't have a lot of spots in the match that really, drag. This did not drag at all. This was one of the better four-ways that I've seen in a while, better multi-man matches that I've seen in a while. Just fast-paced, one after another, back and forth. In the end, it took Marcus Mathers taking a 450 off the top rope and landing on Hunter Drake to get the 1, the 2, the 3. And, it may have some title implications here as another opportunity for him, or an opportunity in general for him to take on Alan Angels down the road. I'd be looking forward to that. In our co-main event or semi-main event of the evening, Yokai, the team of Janai Kai and Yoya, taking on Best Bros, a team coming from all the way over from Japan, all the way from the Gato Move promotion. We're talking about Balianaki and Mesagura. God damn, this was a lot of fun. Another match in the night for me, right back to back. That was crazy. I mean, just the cohesion between these two teams. This isn't their first time teaming together for both these teams. They have had a lot of success as teams outside of Garden State Pro Wrestling. But goddamn, beautiful tag team display here. Really enjoyed what I saw. Just action after action after action, hitting all their spots. Very fun. I love Yoya as a wrestler. I think he's another underrated talent. Should be getting booked everywhere. Just really excited to see him do a lot in the indie wrestling scene. He's made a name for himself, really has focused on and grasped out what works for him and has taken it above and beyond. And Janai Kai has been a treat to watch ever since I first laid eyes on her and saw her step into a ring. Just very powerful with her kicks, very good with her strikes. She knows where she is going with her strikes at all times. She isn't wild with them, which is a very good thing to see. Just very pinpoint accuracy. Best Bros do pick up the victory here. I thought it was a very good match. Very exciting back and forth action. And in our main event here, we had Titus Alexander and Robert Martyr. I thought this right here was, a very good way to close out the show. I do think that maybe the tag team match should have closed out the show because the energy was up, but the energy was still here for the main event. Rob Martyr picks up the big victory and is the number one contender for Alan Angels' Garden State Openweight Championship. Very good post-match promo. A random kid enters the ring, confuses Martyr, confuses the ref in the ring, celebrates, does the "you can't see me" to Titus. It's just a very odd ending. Martyr made the statement that wasn't his nephew or cousin or whatever the case may be, just some random fan. They shouldn't be entering the ring, and I agree with that. It was just a very bizarre thing to see, but it capped off a very, very good show. Again, my matches of the night here were Best Bros versus Yokai and the four-way between Jordan Oliver, Marcus Mathers, Hunter Drake, and Alley Catch. Very good, fun atmosphere, a lot of fun, a lot of energy in this building. They're back for Garden State Pro Wrestling 5 on February 3rd at the Mecca, at the Phil Sheridan Building, at the Knights of Columbus in Ridgefield Park. Tickets are on sale now. Make sure you go and check out the show. already announced for that show is Billy Starks and a team from Dragon Gate, which I am very excited to see. I, got a lot of traction for this because I love me some Dragon Gate. So seeing them in this ring, I will be excited. We are talking about none other than Natural Vibes. They will be making their Mecha debut. They will be making their Garden State Pro debut Friday, February 3rd at 7 p.m. Once again, the Phil Sheridan building. I will be there supporting Garden State Pro Wrestling. It's a great promotion. I recommend everyone support a promotion like this. They just know how to have a lot of fun. Wrestlers seem to be enjoying themselves when they are out there wrestling. Just a good time. Really enjoyable. BK Manders was stiff as hell. I love that match. I want to see more of that. Ruthless Lala, I talked her up and I talked about this a lot. She is the real deal. Very much a powerhouse, and I love that. And then obviously we talked about at the end here the kid celebrating with Rob Martyr, or celebrating for himself really. Just a rando, not a family member of Robert Martyr. Stay out of the ring. You never know what's going to happen in the heat of the moment. Just stay away from that. That's not where you're supposed to be at all times. Just be a fan. Don't, just stay as a fan. Enjoy yourself, but stay as a fan. I will say I do love Alyssa Marino and Veda Scott as the commentary duo. Just seeing them do the show here live was a treat. Obviously, you didn't hear, but getting that experience from them in there was something special. I think you guys were in for a treat if you guys did listen to the show live. Highly recommend you checking it out still when it drops up on VOD. I hope soon. I mean, show itself was spectacular. It was good to be in there at a live event. The energy was there. The crowd was hot. I was hot. Everything was hot. And it was just a good afternoon for independent professional wrestling, which really you can't ask for anything more than that. Like I said, highly recommend to check out one of their shows. But we're going to go into next week's, or this weekend's actually, shows. We have a triple header, 3-bill slate from GCW. They're going to be in the Charlotte and then Alabama area. Alabama and Huntsville on Saturday, and then finally Florence on Sunday. So let's go back and break down these cards here. Friday, we're in Charlotte. We just saw about 2 days ago exactly, SGC, the team of Matthew Justice and Manson Warner, will take on John Wayne Murdoch and George South, Bojack and Ali, and they'll revolt. We'll also see Vikingo and Gringo in dark match action here for a live event only. Ricky Morton will take on Tony Dempin. Blake Christian will take on Andrew Everett. We got Champagne versus Cole Radrick. Bussy will face Charles Mason and Paro. The Los Macizos will face the Ugly Ducklings for the GCW World Tag Team Champion. And we got Nick Wayne versus Arez. We used to have, Jordan versus Colby Carino, but that was changed to Jordan versus Kerry Morton. So a little change in the card there, but still an exciting show. As we go on to Saturday in Huntsville, all these shows will be streaming live on Fite Plus, so make sure you are a member of that, only $4.99 a month. We just saw Billy Starks and Sawyer Wreck get signed after their fantastic match at KOBK sold out. We'll talk about that show once it becomes available. We also will see Los Macizos put the titles on the line against the East-West Express. Of course, I'm talking about Nick Wayne and Jordan Oliver. Tony Deppen will take on Adam Priest. Blake Christian will take on Commanded Man Dan, Marco Stunt, and Mike Jackson, plus more to be announced as the shows come up. And then finally, Sunday, it is GCW versus New South. We saw Sawyer Wreck announce against Donnie Primetime. We have the Bussy versus the Carnies. Los Macizos versus Infrared once again for the GCW World Tag Team titles. Blake Christian versus Hunter Drake. We will see Tony Deppen in action against Aaron Williams. A lot of fun action, a lot of verse matches here. This is GCW versus New South. A lot of fun stuff going on this weekend in the south part of the United States. Make sure you check out Fite Plus for all that. If we're going along and we're jumping around to IWTV, IWTV's big show this weekend is ICW No Holds Barred 40, or as we know, the 3-year anniversary of ICW No Holds Barred. So the card is available and fully, announced. We have Eric Ryan versus Sakuda, John Wayne Murdoch versus Brandon Kirk for the ICW No Holds Barred American Deathmatch Championship. Matt Trebon versus Hoodfoot, I suspect for the IWTV title, but we'll see. Nothing's been fully announced yet. Dr. Redacted versus Neil Diamond Cutter. Tommy Vendetta versus Crowbar. The Bev versus Jeff Cannonball. And Akira and your dose of death, Lauren Roseberg, deathmatch wrestler to watch in the year 2023, Eric Dillinger. And I will be there live and in the flesh to enjoy the show. Stop by, say hi, take some pictures, tell me you listen to this show. I want to know. I want to know what you guys think of this. This is a very big passion project for me. I want to give back to the indie wrestling scene as they've given me so much. So it is my duty and my opportunity to give back there. Be on the lookout for me to do these Ringfluenced interviews with indie wrestling talent, announcers, influencers, whatever the case may be, those that are behind the scenes in front of the camera, whatever the case may be, to go over their influences inside and outside the ring. Those interviews will be dropping as separate episodes, either as a video or audio format very soon. Just keep an eye on Ringfluenced on Twitter and Instagram for the latest details on that. But before we sign off for the week, I want to talk about my indie wrestlers to watch for the year 2023, the Lord's year of 2023. I already mentioned a couple people. I mentioned Brian Keith. I mentioned Manders. I've mentioned Alec Price. I mentioned Ruthless Lala. Another person, I really, and Edith Real and Jordan Blade. So there's a handful of people that I've mentioned. And I mean this, they're all special in their own way, and they are, to me, must-watch wrestlers. Another one that's really must-watch for me, and I really feel like this is a no-brainer. I feel a lot of people watch this man enough already. He's all over the independent scene and is on your TV weekly on Access, if you get it. It's Speedball Mike Bailey. Just a phenomenal return to the U.S. End of 2021, but all of 2022 really took the independents and Impact Wrestling by storm. There's no surprise there. Another one I want to talk about is obviously his lovely wife, Veda Scott. She is the voice of independent wrestling. She's all over the place. I feel, this is her year to get signed, that she put it out there as one of her goals. I agree with that. I think she would be a fantastic addition to any broadcast team of all the major national promotions on television. I'm looking at AEW. They could use an upgrade on the announce team. Impact could use another, color analyst or play-by-play announcer that's actually, been a wrestler and, can give that insight and expertise that, maybe some of them can't. But it's been a very special year to see Veda Scott grow as a performer. MLJ of GCW, he's their ring announcer, but does some spots on commentary, really took the ball and ran with it and has become probably one of the most premier independent ring announcers in all of independent wrestling. I feel he's more of like an MC in a rap battle. He gives you that heat. He gives you that excitement, that drive that you want to listen and pay attention every time he puts a microphone in to announce either a Bussy match, a Nick Gage match, or just hype the crowd up to get them ready to be excited for the show at hand. Promotions to watch, obviously. Let's see what ICW No Holds Barred does this year. Let's see the return of CZW continue to grow. They've been doing very good show-wise. In general, I think it's been a good renaissance for them. Let's just see now. We know that Ultraviolet Underground is coming back on March 25th. Already announced names have been Callan Butcher, Eric Ryan, Insane Lane, just to name a few. Just make sure you stay attached to their socials. Follow Kings Road. I'm sure he'll be posting and sharing a lot of stuff as they get ready to announce a little bit more coming into their first show, which is right around the corner. You'll see me at that show. Other shows you'll see me at, as I mentioned, this Saturday at ICW No Holds Barred. You'll see me at Beyond's Might Snow. You'll see me at Garden State Pro Wrestling's 5. You'll see me at H2O's King of the No Ring Deathmatch 2. You'll see me everywhere. Say hi, stop by, tell me you listen to this, tell me you enjoy this, tell me what I can do to improve. But lastly, let's just close it out with the collective announcement. As we know, GCW and the collective announced their schedule for 2023 at the UCC in Los Angeles. So let's talk about that a little bit. I know there's a lot of people, I wouldn't say up in arms because that's really wrong to say. I will say that a lot of people were surprised at the fact of no death matches, which, you know what? You're running in UCC, which doesn't like glass. I don't know what to tell you. But it's good to see returning shows like Bloodsport, For the Culture, Effie's Big Gay Brunch, World on Lucha, obviously D-Generation F, Spring Break making their returns, but we're also going to see the return of Emo Fight. We're going to see Santino Brothers, DDT enter the collective for the first time. We're going to see the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame also take place during that weekend. Just a lot of special events. Tickets aren't on sale yet, but they're coming soon, so just be on lookout for that announcement once they drop. And also we'll see some details about streaming information. I expect most of the shows will obviously be on Fight Plus. Maybe there's going to be some separation with the DDT and Santino. We'll find out. We will find out more as more becomes available. Once again, this has been Shawn Taggart giving you an inside look at the weekend that was in independent wrestling. Just stay a part of my social media. I have a lot of clips, a lot of photos that I'll be sharing from shows that I attend and all that stuff. If you want to share your own clips and photos and get credit for it, feel free to DM me on one of my social media platforms at Instagram and Twitter, both at Ringfluenced. Once again, thank you for listening to this first episode, one of many. Be on the lookout of when we will actually go ahead and share some of these Ringfluenced interviews. And enjoy the scene, enjoy the wrestling, but most importantly, enjoy yourselves. And, you know, especially after this week, tell people that you love them anytime, you never know. Just give them a hug, give them a kiss, tell them that you love them, and enjoy the wrestling of the weekend.